Assalamu alaikum. Today we continue with another state, the state of lowering, al-khafd. To lower something, it's called al-khafd. Another name you will hear, al-jar, to drag. And what they mean by it is this, the last letter having one of these marks. In this case, it's this kassra here, this short vowel I. So للخفض, there is a reason why I had to lower the end, and that's what we will cover today. ثلاث علامات, 3 marks. So the state of lowering the end of the nouns, and it's specific to nouns. Verbs do not have their ends lowered, only nouns. There are exceptions we will cover later. الكسرة والياء والفتحة. So the 3 marks to indicate the state of خفض or jar. الكسرة, we know what الكسرة is. This is a doubled kasra here at the end. This is a kasra here. والياء, we know what the ya, we studied how it looks like this within the word and how it's used as a mark in the dual and the sound masculine plural. والفتحة, we know the fatha, this is here is a fatha, this here is a fatha, but at the end it changes. Sometimes that's what we study in grammar, the changing marks at the end of the words. Now the fatha, we studied these, they indicate another state, so why use the same here marks to indicate a different state? So that's how the Arabs use the language, and for whatever reason, that's they use the short vowels here, or the ya, or the short vowel, the fatha, to indicate that state. And we will see what these are. فأما الكسرة فتكون علامة للخفض في 3 مواضع. So the kassra here, the first one, al-kasra, this here is a kasra at the end, under the last letter. This here is a kassra, this here is a kassra. فتكون علامة للخفض في 3 مواضع. It is a mark of lowering or dragging. That's the meaning of the word jar, another name for al-khafd, in 3 places. في 3 مواضع. في الاسم المفرد, we know the singular noun, الاسم المفرد, we know what that is. المنصرف, I will talk about this in a second. وجمع التكسير, the broken plural, we know what that is. وجمع المؤنث السالم, this here it's جمع المؤنث السالم, the sound feminine plural. So to indicate the state of خفض, you use it in the singular noun, in the broken plural, and the sound feminine plural. That's how this lowering is indicated, or dragging. Now they say al-munsarif here, which means that in Arabic there are some nouns that have a fixed movement, or some nouns their ends will not be lowered. That's how the Arab used it. It's done for different reasons. We'll talk about that later. The word munsarif means the end changes. So now we'll see an example of the ways the state of jar happens and the use of the kassra to indicate that. Now I'm introducing this new book here, الأساس في قواعد اللغة العربية. I will leave the link for this book in the description below. In this book, it's a beginner's level book, but it has a lot of examples, so I suggest you download it, it's useful. Now in here, they talk about, they use the word jar, يجر, to drag. So here they have a picture. You see, this here is a boy dragging this branch, and they have a sentence to say that. With this boy looking at the tree with birds on it, and one in his hand. So they want to explain this idea of lowering or jar, so that's what they use. يجر إبراهيم الغصن. يجر, to drag, is dragging. This is the present tense. Ibrahim is dragging the branch. الغصن. the definite article. الغصن. So he's dragging the branch. الغصن. This here is this explanation of this picture there. من الحقل إلى الدار. من الحقل. Notice this kassra here. That's a mark for lowering the end of this noun. We know this is a noun. You see this definite article. We said only nouns get the definite article. Now you know another mark. Only nouns that have their end lowers. We talked about this before. Now we see this mark, this kassra. إلى الدار, same thing. Here the end of this house, so the field. الحقل is the field. الدار is the house. So من الحقل, from the field to إلى الدار. Notice how the end lowered there. So they showed that lowering or dragging, as this branch is being dragged, with this kassra here. And that's one of the 3 marks. Here, عصفور في اليد خير من 10 على الشجرة. Bird in the hand is better than 10 on the tree. It's a famous saying. So notice here, this is a kassra with this defined noun, the hand, اليد. This is a double kassra tanween, n, for this number 10, from 10, on the tree. This here is another kassra lowering. So it's used as a mark to indicate the state of this noun. So now when you read it, you know you say al-shajarati. 10 على الشجرة. You don't say 10 أو 10. You say 10. So there are different reasons why these nouns take this kassra. In here, they cover the meaning letters. Notice this min, from, إلى. These, they only attach to nouns, and they cause the end of the noun to be dragged or lowered. So the reason this has kassra is because of this from here, min. Or this إلى, to. Same thing here, in, في اليد. من 10 على on الشجرة. So in here they discuss what we just talked about. We will see an example now. Here they have the rule. We will cover this example here. You see, if you use one of these lowering letters, the dragon letters, as I said, we will talk about this later. But this here is an example of these lowering letters. So here it says like this, هكذا. من الجبل. This here word is mountain. So notice its end is lowered. This is kassra, this is kassra, this is kassra. And wherever you see it here within these parentheses, it's lowered. And you have the different meaning letters before it. So this here is from, من الجبل, إلى الجبل. If there is some other word I want to finish, I will pronounce this short vowel here. If I stop at it, I would say من الجبل. But if I say from the من الجبل المرتفع, the high mountain, I would say من الجبل المرتفع, E. You see, that's the lowering of the end. So these letters here, this here is a lowering letter من, which means from, إلى, to, على, on, في, in, عن, about, be, by, ك, as, li, for. So you can go back to the beginning of these lectures on the basic grammar. I think we covered these letters, but we will come back to this later because we have to discuss this state of lowering. Now we recognize these marks. So now you know whenever you see this mark attached to the end of a noun that has all consonant like this, no vowels at the end of it, you know its end is lowered because you know it's a noun. So this is the kassra. Now the text said it's used in 3 places: with the singular noun, with the plural, broken plural, like this, we studied this before, or with the sound feminine plural. So here is an example of a singular noun. If I put any one of these lowering letters, from, to, about, on, before the singular noun, I will give it kassra. معلمي becomes معلمي. Only this singular. This is mufrad, singular. This is plural, جمع. Same thing here. مفرد جمع, مفرد جمع. Singular, plural, singular, plural. Now, you will find this example in the same book we just discussed. Here, فلاحي, engineer, مهندسي. That's how I would show the state of lowering or dragging, by using this kassra. There are the two marks for different nouns we will cover later. But for now, these are the three different types of nouns that you will see the kassra used as an indication of its state. So here, معلمات, sound feminine plural, I can use kassra there. If I use one of these lowering letters or dragging letters, they're called men, from, or إلى, which means to. معلماتي, فلاحاتي, سيداتي. فلاحاتي, farming women. سيداتي, ladies. جهاتي, directions. مجتهداتي, hard working, feminine. So notice that's the kassra. So this is the singular noun, example of it, using the kassra to indicate the state. Of course, it will take it because of one of these lowering letters, and a different reason we will cover later. Now, this here is an example of the broken plural. Here, school, singular. Madaris is broken plural, a group of schools. So you will see a kassra there if it's lowered. If I wanted to say from the schools of the city, من مدارس المدينة. أنهار, rivers. Same thing. If you see any of those lowering letters or dragging letters before these nouns here, you will see the end lowered if the end is consonant. All we're doing is consonant now, because vowels have different ways of dealing with it. Thank you for listening. Next time, inshallah, we'll continue with the second mark, the ya. See you then. Assalamu alaikum.